Good afternoon and welcome, and thank you for coming out today. My name is Greg Geist. I'm the Director of ClackCo Water Environment Services, and today we're going to be talking about the Tri-City Outfall project. Before I get going, I wanted to recognize some of the elected officials in the room. We've got Commissioners Schrader and Savas and Scholl. Hello and thank you. Mayor Denise McGriff, who's the Mayor of Oregon City, as well as the Vice Chair of the West Advisory Committee. Oregon City Commissioner Mike Mitchell is here somewhere. Hi, Mike. And then I haven't seen Adam, but I thought Adam Khosrabadi from Milwaukee was going to be here. Anyway, if Adam shows up, please say hi. Thanks for being here. So I'm going to hand this off to Greg Doretto here in a minute. He's the chair of the West Advisory Committee and a luminary in the wastewater and water field and civil engineering in general. So I'll be mercifully short. Again, thanks for coming out. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of this project. At Water Environment Services, we don't call ourselves sewage treatment plants anymore. We are water resource recovery facilities. And that means we take what goes down toilets and we make clean water that goes out through pipes like these next to me out to the river. We make a natural fertilizer that goes on agricultural fields here in Oregon, and we make electricity. And we're currently able to make almost half the electricity to power this facility. So we're very proud of the work that we do. We think that we reflect the values of the community. This is wise infrastructure investment, protection of public health, protection of water quality, and ensuring that we have continued economic vitality in the many wonderful communities that we serve. We're very proud of the work that we do for the community. If you look in the back, there's a whole host of Wes employees here. And it's because they love the work that they do. They love the work that the contributions that they make to this community. We're very excited about this project. And again, thank you for being here and thank you for caring about it. It's very important. Again, we're proud, we're happy, and I'll bring Greg DiLoretto up to MC the rest of the event. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg, and welcome. It is a privilege for me to be here today and to share this groundbreaking with everyone. As I mentioned, my name is Greg DiLoretto. I am the chair this year of the West Advisory Committee. Our role as Advisory Committee is to provide recommendations on policy matters to not only the staff here at West, to Greg and the leadership team, but to the county commissioners as well. We are a committee of 20 people. We have elected officials on our committee. We have industry experts, stakeholders, folks like myself that ran a public utility previously. And again, our goal is to help Greg provide really a first-class agency. Well, when you're retired, you need something to do. So besides this, for the last 45 years, I've been involved in the American Society of Civil Engineers. In fact, served as president of the 150,000 member organization. And following that, I became chair of their Committee on America's Infrastructure. One of the things that committee does is every 4 years produces a report card on the condition of America's infrastructure. And in our latest one, we gave wastewater in this country a grade of D+, meaning it is nearly failing. And in fact, the report card that our organization did for the state of Oregon gives wastewater a grade of D. Over half the wastewater facilities of Oregon are nearing the end of their useful life. And in fact, we have a $5 billion backlog in wastewater needs. Well, so one of the things that's allowed me to do is travel around the country as well as the world talking about this need for investing in our infrastructure. And a few weeks ago, I had the opportunity, I was at the county commission hearing where West was presenting their capital improvement plan. And I was asked if I wanted to come up and say a few words, and I've never been shy about saying a few words, and so I went up there. And I talked to the commissioners and I said to them how lucky we are in Clackamas County to have West and the things they're doing and the fact that they're taking care of our infrastructure. They're taking care of our wastewater system. That's leading to our economic prosperity and our quality of life. And that's just critical. The other thing that's critical to it, though, and it's one of the recommendations in our report for raising the grades, is bold leadership. And we have that in Clackamas County. We have that with our elected officials because it takes that bold leadership to make sure that we have adequate resources to make sure that this system runs properly, that it's maintained and is cared for. You know, one of the things I do also is whenever we have a disaster in the water industry, it goes to my organization. They have me get in touch. I've got in touch with the media. I've been on ABC News, NBC Nightly News, CNN, NPR, all of those talking about what's happened in other communities. Two questions. Why did it happen? And how do we get out of it? And one of the ways we get out of it is with bold leadership and that willingness to fund these systems. And that's clearly what West does, and it's clearly why we're here today. Another piece of our wastewater system that's so critical. You know, we don't think about this until it fails. And then we think about it and we wonder, what happened? Why weren't we prepared? So with that, again, I'm thankful that everyone's here. I'm thankful for the folks that we have participating in this today. We're going to hear from a few other folks today. We're going to hear from the Capital Program Manager for West, Jeff Stollard. He's the owner's representative on this project. Then we'll hear from Oregon City Mayor Denise McGriff, whose city was instrumental in our ability to get this project done. Again, bold leadership in making these things happen. And then we'll hear from Clackamas County Commissioner Martha Schrader on our project. After that, we'll take a little walk down there, get some gold shovels, dig up some dirt, and the project will be underway. So with that, I'll turn the program over to Jeff for a few minutes.
Thank you, Greg. Before I dive into details on this innovative project, I wanted to acknowledge that there have been many great inventions over the years. And while the wheel got things rolling, the shovel was truly groundbreaking. So good afternoon. Thank you for coming to this celebratory groundbreaking ceremony for the Tri-City Outfall project. I have been lucky to lead this project for the last 5 years, and I'm excited that we finally reached the stage of construction. A project of this size takes time to design, permit, and coordinate with many stakeholders, and I'm proud of the work we have completed and the project that we are building to serve our community for many years to come. I'll take a moment here to highlight the what this project is, the why we are doing this project, and the how we're going to accomplish it. So what is the Outfall project? Right now, under our feet, treated water from the Tri-City facility is being directed to the Willamette River through an outfall pipeline. This pipeline has diffusers at the discharge in the river that are designed to mix our effluent with the river. This mixing is an important component to meeting state water quality standards, keeping our rivers clean so we can use them for the things we love to use them for, the boating, the swimming, the fishing, and also it allows us to protect our aquatic resources. Our outfall project will consist of building approximately 1 mile of 90-inch diameter pipeline. So this 72-inch pipe here is what we currently have in the ground, and our maintenance and operations staff built a mock-up of what the 90-inch diameter pipe will look like so you can get an example of the scale. It's a very large diameter pipe. This will be run from our facility, starting where we will break ground with our gold shovels here shortly. It will parallel I-205 to the Willamette River downstream of the Abernathy Bridge and come out in a location adjacent to John Storm Park. So why are we doing the project? The 2019 update to the Sanitary Sewer System Master Plan identified that the existing outfall, constructed as part of our original facility in the mid-80s, is at capacity during peak wet weather events. Our solution to this capacity issue is to build a new outfall and to keep the existing outfall for a new combined capacity of 180 million gallons a day. We estimate this will provide us over 50 years of future service. So how will this outfall be built? So this project is unique in not only in scale, but also the complex construction methods that it's going to require, because this project essentially has 3 unique segments to it. Segment 1, which will start here at the Tri-City facility and go to the Main Street roundabout, will be built using a typical construction approach to pipe construction. We call it open cut. That's where a trench is dug, a pipe is placed in, and material is then the trench is backfilled. Segment 2 From the Main Street roundabout all the way out to the Willamette River will be constructed using a tunnel boring machine. This tunnel boring machine will be approximately 10 foot in diameter, and it will drill through the ground, and the pipe will be installed as that machine advances. This approach minimizes surface impacts and allows us to cross areas that just would not be feasible to build using open cut, like roads or some of the on-ramps across the I-205 and 99 intersection. Once the machine gets to the river, the tunnel machine will be lifted out of the river, placed on a barge, and it will be sent back to Germany. We're just renting it. Segment 3, the final piece, and which has all the diffuser ports, this segment will be built off a barge with divers to construct it underwater. This segment will be constructed next summer during the in-water work period, which runs from July to October. And this in-water work period is critical as it's a time period in the river that DEQs allows work in the river to occur, which minimizes impacts to the aquatic species. As I have mentioned, I have been lucky to lead this amazing project, and I'm very happy that we are building this project that will protect our waterways and support our community for the next 50 years. I love to explore this amazing place we live, and I feel fortunate that my job gives me an opportunity to help protect our water resources. Before I close, I wanted to extend a thank you to our county commissioners, who are the Board of Directors for Water Environment Services, our WES Advisory Committee, the City of Oregon City, all of the WES staff that have been involved and engaged in this project, for all of the support on this project. The Jacobs and Michaels team, who are the design engineers and owners rep, hard work and long hours put in to get this project to this milestone. And finally, WES's former capital manager, Lynn Chicoine, for her work in getting this key project off the ground. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Now we'll hear from Mayor McGriff.
Thank you so much, Greg. Good afternoon. As Greg said, I'm Denise McGriff, and I have the privilege of being the mayor of the City of Oregon City. But I also volunteered to serve as the WES Advisor on the WES Advisory Committee as the vice chair with Chair Doretto. As I stated, I did volunteer to be on this committee, and as a committee member, I feel that for the first time in a long time that the city members are being heard and respected by the WES staff. And that's the communications that we have now are fantastic. And I appreciate all the staff for answering all of my thousands of questions and answering questions involving some of my concerns. And we have had a great dialogue. So in addition to my role as mayor and being on this committee, I've also had the privilege of being an officer in a local nonprofit in Oregon City. Many of you have probably heard of the William L. Holmes House, or as some of you know it, as the Rose Farm. And I bring this up because our nonprofit had the opportunity to participate in this WES I&I program. And it is the Infiltration and Inflow Reduction Program. So it's a very serious problem. Our site in particular had the sewer line on 2 buildings on 1 sewer line. And although it wasn't in any bad shape, it definitely needed to be separated. It was an aging infrastructure and had cracks. And so this was important because we don't want to send any unnecessary water from our site and other sites in Oregon City and our region into the river. As you know, this will lead to greater treatment costs and larger capital expenditures if we don't minimize and solve these problems. So WES worked with the cities that own and maintain their own sewer systems, like Oregon City, to provide 33% of the funding for projects that help solve this regional problem. Oregon City just wrapped up the first part of the project on the Holmes Lane area, and I was able to watch this project firsthand. I spent the day watching the trenches being dug, and I even got to see some pipe bursting, which I feel was really fantastic. And I've told our city commission many times on what a fun opportunity that was. Everybody involved on the project was fantastic. From the property owner standpoint, this project is a great example of the partnership, and we greatly appreciated being able to get our work done and separate our sewer system, and also at no cost to our organization. This is what WES does. This is what WES does with its partners. WES leadership and staff plan well and engage in programs that serve the public in a most physically responsible manner, and that's what this is all about today. As the Oregon City Mayor, I'm very proud that our residents voted to authorize WES to run the Tri-City Outfall under John Storm Park. which is just down the road from here. The support of our community was key in launching this project. This is a very special moment for Oregon City to support WES and their vision for building a resilient, clean water future where all people benefit and rivers thrive. Thank you very much for letting me tell my story about our specific project, and thank you for allowing me to represent the city on this WES Advisory Committee, and I'll turn it back over to Greg. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. We'll now hear from Commissioner Schrader, who happens to be our liaison between the county commissioners and the WES Advisory Committee.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to see everybody here, and I know I'm the one between us and the shovel and maybe getting into a warm room somewhere sooner than later. But I am so pleased to be here at this important groundbreaking. As a representative of the Board of County Commissioners, which serves as the WES Board of Directors, we are all very pleased that this Outfall project is happening. I'd like to start by thanking my colleagues, Chair Tootie Smith, Commissioner Savas, Commissioner Mark Schull, because they have trusted me to be the liaison to this outstanding advisory committee. I'd like to give a hand to them, but first I also want to give a shout out to Water and Environment Services employees who have faced every emergency in our communities, including ice storms, floods, and those kinds of disasters, and have done overtime to make sure that this system remains safe and solid for the constituents of our county. Let's give them a hand, please. Woo! Go Wes! Okay, so I'm also going to thank Greg and his management team. And I'd also like to thank Mayor McGriff and everyone involved at Oregon City for their helpful partnership with this matter. We couldn't have done this without the great people of Oregon City, the first city in Oregon. Since the first iteration of the county strategic plan about 10 years ago, the Board of County Commissioners has always made build a strong infrastructure a key priority. The actions that WES has taken over the course of many years is exactly what this priority is about. WES is dedicated to building a strong infrastructure with every action it takes, including today. As Advisory Chair Doretto alluded to earlier, thoughtful planning is key. A commitment to solid infrastructure doesn't happen overnight. I hope it isn't lost that this Outfall project is a part of WES's 5-year capital improvement plan. That plan, one of the many excellent resources available to the public, outlines exactly how WES is spending ratepayer money, why we are doing it, and how it keeps our community whole. That's precisely what you want from your government agencies: transparency and results. And WES has a sparkling history of delivering just that. It's not just me saying so. WES has been recognized nationally. This project required a vote of the people of Oregon City to proceed. And even though we were in the midst of a pandemic when the vote was taken, WES successfully communicated the needs of city residents who passed this overwhelmingly. And ladies and gentlemen, that was quite remarkable. For WES's efforts, it was honored with an award from the National Association of Counties for the education and public information efforts related to the project. And I was at the National Association meeting when able to see that WES actually had received that award. This all illustrates just how professionally WES is run as it develops through long-range plans that work for ratepayers while honoring the environment. WES is a model for water utilities throughout the nation. That's because WES's leadership keeps its rate predictable for ratepayers, manages its growth and expansion wisely, and makes decisions transparently with community input. Being a county commissioner has its ups and downs, as you all know. There are always challenges and thorny issues, and there's a lot of tomatoes that get thrown at you through the years. But WES is the model structure that continually satisfies, one that is recognized by the public as running efficiently and effectively. It is my absolute pleasure to serve as a WES director because of days like this, when WES has done its due diligence and takes action that will benefit its ratepayers and our communities as a whole. And that not just the human community, but our wildlife, our trees, our wetlands, our lands and our nature, and particularly my personal bias, pollinators and bees. I look forward to seeing all of you in several minutes when we start the tunneling. Thank you for being here today. And also, I just want to give a shout out to the WES Advisory Board. They are such a wonderful group of people to serve with. It is an honor to work with such marvelous people who are so knowledgeable and so intent on keeping our environment clean. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Well, and thank you everybody for coming today. Those are the prepared remarks. We're now going to, I guess there's a group that'll take you down to where we're going to dig the shovel full of dirt. So don't go home, go down there, watch us dig the dirt, and then from there the project will get started. They'll probably have that machine in next week, and boy, you'll be moving right along. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming. Appreciate it.